The show starts in 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? What's up, Pittsburgh? What's up, Pittsburgh's DSEN listeners and Pittsburgh sports fans, Stellar Nation? Yeah, everyone. Hopefully, everyone is having a outstanding day. Hopefully, everyone had an outstanding week, outstanding weekend. I know we did because it is Steeler Victory Tuesday. And that's what we love about Steeler Victory Tuesdays. Always great to come on after a Steelers victory. This is Soul Take, everyone. We come to you every Tuesday, 6 to 8 p.m., as you see on your screen. Or if you're listening on the radio stream, we'll let you know. I'm Kevin Cameron. Across from me is Mr. Ken Craig.
What is going on?
Hey, fantastic. As I said, our guy JT, we don't believe he will be on with us today, but hopefully we'll be able to get him back in the studio as soon as possible so he can chop it up with us as well and give his perspectives on things also. Before we get started, I hope as many of you as possible has had the opportunity to check out our Black and Gold post-game shows. We actually had 2 of them so far, Ken. It's crazy. Time just flies. Yeah, everyone. We have a panel of 6 guys, including the 2 of us. We're included in that 6. And we switch it up every Sunday or every day that the Steelers have a day game. So we don't do the night games. From a post-game standpoint, we just do the day games. So if the Steelers have a day game, put it on your schedule to join us right here on the YouTube channel or on the radio stream or the post-game show. Now, everyone should be aware that it is a bye week for our Pittsburgh Steelers. So we get to rest this weekend. Maybe me and Ken be able to get out and play some golf.
I don't know about that one. There's other sports going on in this city right now.
You're right about that. But for me on Sunday, I'm going to look at the weather. And if I could sneak out and play some golf, that's what I plan on doing for sure. Take advantage of it.
If anyone out there has never seen our studio, we have a few TVs around the studios, and we always have sports on, before we kick off the show, just in case we want to see any breaking news. Well, we also have our YouTube up. That way we can see, what's happening with our show and make sure we're good. Did see some swing analysis videos on Kevin's YouTube there.
Yeah.
So I think he's tuning it up.
Hey, I'll try to do what I can. That's one thing when your personal information is integrated with your business information. So that's YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one thing I want to make everybody aware of, Darnell Dinkins, our Super Bowl champ. He actually played and won a Super Bowl with Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be with us at the 7 p.m. time frame as well. Okay. Also, after the show today from 8 to 9 p.m., stick around, everyone, for Pittsburgh Soul on Stage. Pittsburgh Soul on Stage. And that will only be on our radio stream. And if you go to our website, you'll be able to get more information on Pittsburgh Soul on Stage. We will have guests Dr. Nathaniel, Floway is what he's called, Floway Felton of Gospel Melodies Day Party. He will join us for the show. And what this is all about, when they perform gospel melodies, and it's actually called Gospel Melodies Day Party. And it's a one of a kind faith, fellowship, and culture experience. They say it's not a concert, it's not a church service, it's an interactive celebration. It has a live band that brings classic gospel songs to life. A DJ sets the tone before the band hits, and the audience becomes part of the praise through testimonies, singing, and dancing. So we'll have him on to tell us all about what they do and more. They'll be coming to Pittsburgh, I believe, this weekend, this Saturday. So again, that's 8 to 9 p.m. directly after this show. It's Pittsburgh Soul on Stage with yours truly, as well as Miss Rita Gregory. So you don't want to miss that. Okay. What we have on tap today, from a sports standpoint, everyone is talking about this, Ken. All right. Will the Steelers win the AFC North?
Ooh.
There's a lot going on in the AFC North. And when I say a lot going on, a lot of bad stuff. Okay. But
I wouldn't call it bad.
that's where I was going to.
See what shirt I wore today, right? You see
I
what shirt I wore today.
Steelers, what is appropriate, Ken? You come prepared, bro.
Steelers run the North.
You come prepared. So, yeah, we'll talk about that. Ken, the Steelers, it's hard to maintain first place for the whole year. We're a quarter through the season so far.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so we need to talk about that. And also, is Steelers' run game back? Is the run game back? Okay, we need to talk about that. And also, is the defense back for the Steelers? And then the 6:30 time frame, we will talk Pirates. Don Kelly just got a new extension. We need to give you an update on Ben Sheraton, who's the GM. We need to talk Major League Baseball playoffs. I had a chance to watch a little bit of the Cubs and Padres, and I understand that Detroit and Cleveland played earlier today as well. So we need to talk MLB playoffs and make some predictions as well, Ken. Also, we need to talk about what happened over the weekend with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh, what a weekend, man.
Yeah.
It was
Marc-André Fleury.
Yeah, it was absolutely electric. I don't know. I can't find any words to talk about.
Yeah,
But it was electric.
Save it. Hopefully by the time we get to it, you'll have enough words to talk about it. All right. And then the golf Ryder Cup. Yeah, we have to talk about it. The U.S. went down to York. And then the third segment, and that is the 7 p.m. time frame, we'll get Super Bowl champ Darnell Dinkins on the line. He has a couple kids, young men, I should say, that play for James Franklin and Penn State. And things did not go well at Happy Valley this past weekend during the whiteout. And we want to get Darnell's perspective on Penn State and that game and Penn State moving forward. And we will also talk about the new college football AP Top 25 and talk about local football as well. Pitt. Okay. I went to that game this past weekend against Louisville. It was a big disappointment. But I asked the question, what is the biggest problem that Pitt has as of today? Is it Pitt-Narduzzi, the head coach, or is it the quarterback, Eli Holstein? Okay. And since Darnell Dinkins is also a Pitt alum, I'm pretty sure he has some opinions regarding that as well. And then the last segment, we'll talk about what's wrong with Deion Sanders-Colorado, because they're struggling out in the West as well. And then the NFL Week 4 recap. We'll go around the league and talk about what happened in Week 4 NFL-wide. And then we'll get to our picks for Week 5. Okay, so that's what we have on tap today, everyone. phone number to connect with us, to call in. And I do need to get my call screen up because I don't have it up right now, but it will be up within the next couple minutes. The numbers are on your screen, whichever way you connect it. However, I'll give it to you anyway. To call 412-213-8995 or to text 412-218-3888. Also on our website, please connect with us on the socials indicated on the website. Question of the day. We always have a question of the day, and I would be very interested to hear Ken's answer to the question of the day. Which Pittsburgh team, and I excluded one because the one I excluded is quite obvious for this question, but the other ones is not quite obvious. Okay. Which Pittsburgh team is closer to making the playoffs? Pitt football, the Pirates, or the Penguins?
Okay. So I see that you took Steelers out of that
I took the Steelers out.
And no Penn State because they're not.
The Steelers don't have a problem with getting to the playoffs. The Steelers have a problem with getting a win in the playoffs.
You want me to answer it now?
No.
Wait.
Okay. Hold tight on
All
that.
right.
Okay. Matter of fact, I would like your answer second segment.
All right.
Because I want yours, and then I want Darnell's, and then I'll give you mine. So we'll save that for the second segment or the second half of the show, which is the third segment, the 7 p.m. time frame. But for those of you watching and listening, you could text in yours or you can call that in as well. So what I would like to get to, will our Pittsburgh Steelers win the AFC North? Now, Ken came in here and he actually, like I said, he came prepared. He's saying that the Steelers run the North. Now, since you indicated the Steelers run the North, you know, you're kind of aging.
This has a date on it.
What year is that, Ken?
2014.
2014. So that's 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Matter of fact, when was the last time the Steelers won the AFC North? It hasn't. It's been since then, but we'll find that out. But that's the question that we have, and the reason that question is out there because right now the Steelers are the only team in the AFC North with a winning record.
So just to interrupt real quick.
Yep.
Steelers won the AFC North in 2020.
Okay.
2017, 2016.
But the latest
2020.
2020.
Yes.
That makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, a little bit. I was counting back to
better,
we've won 3 times since this shirt. So yeah, it's not that far ago. It wasn't 11 years ago.
Right. Okay, cool. So again, the Steelers are after the 24-17 victory in Ireland. I don't want to skip over that, Ken. Even though we had our post-game show, we were able to break that down pretty good. We gave game balls on defense. We gave game balls on offense as well. So we broke the game down pretty good. So I don't want to regurgitate what we already talked about. And for those of you that might not have caught that, it's still out there on YouTube. So you can go out there and check it out. But as I indicated, it was a 24-17 win in Ireland, the first ever game, regular season game, NFL game played in Ireland. And I said to Ken before the game and during the post-game show as well that it had to be extra motivation for the Pittsburgh Steelers as a result of the Rooney family. And that's where their family immigrated from. So just about everybody that I heard had post-game comments indicated that.
Yeah. And I, as we also discussed, the Rooneys were banned Rooney, who was the ambassador to Ireland
Yes.
under the Obama administration, and so it is a very important game. They worked really hard to get this game on this schedule, so it would have been a very quiet flight home. They did not.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
did not pull this win out, but they did, and so we don't have to discuss that. Um, but they went out and showed out. I think the entire organization knew how important it was, and players knew that too because they talked about it after. Mike Tomlin mentioned it, TJ Watt mentioned it. It was felt throughout the organization. And
Yeah. So again, 20, I said 24-17. It was actually 24-21.
yeah,
It shouldn't have been
yeah,
as
we
close.
forgot it got that close to the end,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. It shouldn't have been that close. Matter of fact, it shouldn't have even been 24-17. It probably should have been more like what, 24-14 at
Oh,
least.
yeah, yeah.
24-14. But again, the final score 24-21. And now the question again, AFC North, can the Steelers win AFC North? As of right now, the only team in the AFC North with a winning record. So Baltimore is 1-3. Cleveland is 1-3. And Cincinnati is 2-2
2-2, yeah.
after taking a loss last night
Oh,
against who did they lose to? Denver.
Denver, yeah.
Denver in Mile High, and there were quite a number, or I should say, there were frustrations on the Cincinnati side.
Well, it was an ugly loss too. There was, Cincinnati's known for their offense. We knew their defense struggle, but their offense specifically, like without them, what are they going to do? And you could see the frustration on the sidelines and on the field. So, do I feel bad? I feel bad that Burrow's hurt. That's what I don't want any
Never
player to be
like to
hurt.
see.
But I don't, if you're going to roll out a team without a defense, like, bring it on. But you could tell there's frustrations there. I thought Browning was going to be a little bit better than he's shown. But he's played some good teams too. I mean, Denver's defense is tough. So our defense is going to be tough, hopefully. So let's when it comes to the AFC North, next man up mentality has to be.
Right. So I had a chance to get or listen to a third party opinion when it came to can the Steelers win the AFC North. Actually, I heard a number of different opinions and comments and everything else, but this is one that I wanted to share from Rich Eisen. Not sure if you ever watched his show, the
absolutely,
Rich Eisen show. So I'm going to go ahead and cue this up for those up on YouTube as well as the people listening on the radio stream as well. So let's hear what they said on the Rich Eisen show regarding matter of fact, with this kind of dovetails into another question I have. Is the running game back for the Steelers? Okay. They talk about that as well. Kenny Gainwell, I think, is where he starts the conversation. The type of game that Kenny Gainwell just had this past week. And then I think at the tail end, he talks about the schedule and where the Steelers is currently positioned. So here we go.
Did Kenneth Gainwell just take over the running back position for the Pittsburgh Steelers? I'll tell you this. I know they've got a bye now, and Jalen Warren was the guy coming into the season after being the backup to Najee Harris. But you got to wonder if they're just going to basically tell Jalen, you don't normally lose your job due to injury here, and we'll try and split the reps in a certain way. But you got to wonder if Kenneth Gainwell is going to get another start. 19 carries, 99 rush yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, career highs in carries, rushing yards, and rushing touchdowns and scrimmage yards for Kenneth Gainwell, the guy who, as we all know, was behind Saquon last year.
He looked so good yesterday.
He sure did.
He showed patience. His cuts were great.
His
It was a great game.
His 134 scrimmage yards are tied for most by a Steelers player in a game over the last 2 seasons. And Rodgers only missed on 4 passes. 126 of his 200 pass yards were gained by DK Metcalf, the 80 yards of the 126 on one play. So every single time that Steelers win, you're like, but they're 3-1. And they're 2 games clear of the Ravens. The Bengals have a backup quarterback damn near all the way through to the middle of December if they're lucky. And the Browns are, well, talking about Shedeur Sanders' body language in Ohio right now. And the Steelers come off the bye and they get the Browns before visiting Cincinnati, and then that massive one where Green Bay now has a revenge game player against them. Sunday Night Football. And Rodgers is going to be talking about that before a game against Indianapolis at home that could be pretty damn big, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And a visit to Los Angeles.
Okay, so that was again Rich Eisen talking about Kenny Gainwell. Kenny G. That's right. And they might have mentioned it. 19 carries, 99 yards. I really wanted that 100 yards because I would think Najee had a 100-yard game not too long ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but still, when it goes in the book as a 100-yard rusher, you just feel a lot different about it. And I also looked at Kenny Gainwell's contract situation as well, Ken. Signed him for 1 year.
That is correct, yes.
Okay, 1 year, $1,790,000 is what he's playing for. And if he'll have a good year, his value just goes up. And what a lot of people don't realize, Ken, Andy Waddle, that came over, the Steelers' assistant general manager, came over from. So I believe he had an opportunity to look at Kenneth Gainwell and knew what kind of player that he is.
Yeah, and he kind of tore us apart last year.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did,
especially in the even game out of the backfield. Caught a number of passes and really tore apart. But yeah, he's a good blocking. Decent blocking in the backfield too. But I think a key factor here that really worked, and I think we're going to see kind of moving forward as well is 14 rushes and 74 yards.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Calvin Anderson come in, extra O-line at the end of that.
So, I think is it Spencer Anderson?
Spencer, what did I say? Calvin?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
No problem.
Calvin Anderson.
Yeah, the big package.
Yeah. And so that's a key factor because look how doing awesome. With him and Darnell.
Right.
Darnell, 48 snaps.
Darnell Washington.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They both impactful in the run game Sunday, and that helps open up that zone run game that
definitely
that Arthur Smith likes to run.
So, okay, let's answer the question.
Is Spencer.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had two Calvin Anderson and Spencer Anderson.
Okay.
This was Spencer.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So I take it you believe that the Steelers will win the AFC North. Yeah.
I do.
Who did you have at the beginning?
Baltimore.
You had Baltimore. I had them at the beginning, right?
I know you did.
Yeah.
I know you did.
So I'm sticking with my prediction. I'm sticking with it because here's the deal, and I know people say, well, you never know how people are going to get injured,
Sure.
or you never know, different things happen. Teams could be better. Some teams you had down as a win for Baltimore, for example, when they end up losing or having this turn. Yeah, I get all that.
Yep.
But the bottom line is, I just go based on what I believe that team will do during the year. And with everybody healthy, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and some people think I'm crazy, right? But even with those cats healthy, I still thought this would be the Steelers' year. Now, as I said, only 4 games have been played.
Sure.
Okay. So we're basically at the quarter mark for the NFL season. Okay. So a lot,
18 weeks.
a lot can still happen. I actually texted a guy that I know a couple of days ago or yesterday, whenever it was, and he's a Baltimore fan. And I told him, I'll never give up on Baltimore. I'll never give up on Baltimore. And I said there's 2 teams I don't give up on: Baltimore and Pittsburgh
Yep.
in the AFC North.
Absolutely.
Okay, I don't give up on Kansas City either.
Right. You can't. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
Historically speaking, look how many times they've come back and have gone on a 4, 5, 6 game run.
Right.
And they're you have to look at what the team has.
Yeah.
The resources they have.
Yeah, and it's like the Pirates. We'll get into the Pirates later, and the club president Travis Williams spoke yesterday. I believe the Pirates winning when they win.
Yep. Yeah. So you don't put them in that same bucket.
I don't.
You don't
Not that
trust
I put
them?
them
Okay.
in the direct opposite.
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. You could in one ear, out the other ear.
Absolutely.
Show me. So yeah, I wouldn't put anything past Baltimore. I don't think Cincinnati or Cleveland would do it. Okay. And I do believe that the Steelers will do it, but I know Baltimore could still win it as well. Now, I might have mentioned the AFC record. If I didn't, I'll mention it, but if I did, I'll mention it again as well. So their AFC records.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Baltimore's 1-2 in the AFC. That matters.
Very much so.
Okay.
Yep.
The Steelers right now is 1-0. They're 1-0, I believe, beating the Jets. The other 3 victories came against.
Oh, are you talking AFC?
AFC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Conference.
Yeah,
Okay, I thought you were
conference.
talking division. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. So
I gave you a look like, what are you talking about, sir?
Exactly. So the other victory came against let me see, Minnesota.
New England as well. So we beat New England.
Well, okay, so it's 2-0 in the AFC.
Yeah.
Okay, so New England, Minnesota, and Jets. So
and our loss was to Seattle.
Okay, so yeah, we're 2-0 in the conference. That's even better. Now, the Steelers haven't played any AFC North divisional games yet. But just to get back to the rest of the teams in the AFC North from an AFC conference standpoint, again, Baltimore 1-2, Cincinnati 2-1, and Cleveland 0-2. Now, what's important here as well, the next 2 games for the Steelers, the Browns after the bye, and then a Thursday game against Cleveland. If the Steelers could win those 2 games,
you mean Cincinnati, right?
Who did I say?
Cleveland.
Cleveland after the bye.
Right, and then you said
and
Cleveland
then okay,
again.
and then Cincinnati Thursday night.
I know what you meant. I know what you meant.
Well,
I got you. And I was hoping we were playing Baltimore a little bit early. I know we always push them off to the end of the season.
Mhm.
Every year, it's always later in the season. The NFL knows what they're doing with scheduling.
Yeah.
So they give the Steelers and the Baltimore later in the season. But these next 2 games coming off the bye, which historically speaking, Mike Tomlin is really good coming off the bye.
Big time.
So perfect timing, right? And at the same time, we're talking about Cleveland. It's come out in the news that they are discussing a quarterback change.
Kind of like the Giants did
Yep.
with Jackson Dart.
Yeah. Yeah, which has helped them. I mean, well,
For one game.
one game.
One game, yeah.
And that looks to be like a good move for them. With Cleveland, they're talking about starting Dylan Gabriel, the rookie quarterback, and I'd rather see Dylan Gabriel than I'd rather Joe Flacco knows us. He
Sure.
what was it last year in Indianapolis? Threw all over us
Yeah.
in Indianapolis
Yeah, that
last
was
year.
in Indy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, big difference.
Oh, big difference. We know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what we'll do, everyone, we are right up against the break. And when we come back from break, what we will do, we'll talk defense, the Steelers defense. Do you believe that the Steelers defense is back? And also mention our Pittsburgh Pirates. We'll talk about what's going on there. Major League Baseball playoffs. We'll make some predictions there. And we will also talk Pens and Marc-André Fleury. Last game as a Pittsburgh Penguin, as well as golf and the Ryder Cup. So we got a lot to squeeze in for our second segment. We'll do all of that and more when we return.
Looking for a cost-effective way to help increase your company's bottom line? Look no further than Soul Pit Media. With our award-winning print, internet, podcast, and Soul Pit television options, we can help your business get to that next level. For more information, contact Craig Dawson at 412-407-7685. That's 412-407-7685. And let Soul Pit Media take you to that next level.
Business owners thinking about back-to-school promotions and replacing summer flavors with pumpkin? What about your taxes? Reduce your stress and tax liabilities by planning for tax time now with Cameron Professional Services Group. CPSG takes your goals, values, and visions to create a custom tax plan catered specifically to your business. We work closely with you to ensure that as your business grows and goals shift, so will your custom plan. Located in the Hill District in Pittsburgh, PA, CPSG is a CPA and consultant firm, providing services in accounting, auditing, tax planning and preparation, community development, and operational management. Call Cameron Professional Services Group today at 412-251-0607.
Have you had the Beat by Niche experience? Beat by Niche is one of the top makeup artists in the city of Pittsburgh. She's touched the face of Cardi B, Love and Hip Hop personalities, and various Steeler wives. If you have not sat in her chair, what are you waiting for? Visit beatbyniche.com to schedule your special makeover for all occasions, weddings, graduations, proms, photo ops, and more. Visit beatbyniche.com and experience the touch of excellence.
Yeah. You know what it is. It's a Pittsburgh Steelers victory this past Sunday, 24-21 over the Minnesota Vikings. And one of the things about that, Ken, by the way, my name is Kevin Cameron. I'm Ken Craig. Across the table from me, to the right on your screen. One thing about that, Ken, I think this was a really good victory, and I think some people might be sleeping this victory. It's amazing how people try to point out why the Steelers should have won
Right.
after the victory.
Right.
Sam Darnold, for example. Well, we beat Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people talking about Minnesota is a legitimate Super Bowl contender. And if if it would be good for J.J. McCarthy to get his job back, as well as Brian Flores, which we all respect. And both of us said, Ken, that if it were left up to us, we would have kept Brian Flores.
Oh, yeah.
And made him the defensive coordinator. So I don't want people to sleep this victory. That I still say Minnesota is a very good team.
Very good.
They have a lot of talent.
Very good coaching.
Very good coaching.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue that they have a top 5 wide receiver core.
Oh,
right.
Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson, top 3 maybe.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I tried to be nice.
Yeah, I know.
and conservative and say 5.
Right.
You know, so and then the Steelers had players out.
Yeah.
Right. Joey Porter Jr. didn't play. Jalen Ramsey played, but he got injured during the game, and he was limited during the game as well. Who else am I missing from a defensive standpoint that didn't play? I would have to go back and take a look at the
from a defensive standpoint.
Inactive. I know Deshaun Elliott came back.
Yeah, Deshaun Elliott came back. I mean, we missed Jalen Warren from the offensive side. But on the defensive side, I think. Darius Slay went out of the game.
Okay.
For a bit.
But nonetheless,
Calvin Austin as well.
Yeah, on the offensive side.
Yeah.
All right. Nonetheless, you know, it was a real good win against an NFC opponent with all the talent that we indicated and good coaching that we indicated. And on that note, Ken, would you say the defense is back?
I think I think that they're starting to gel. Right. I think that, remember, this is the first time a lot of these guys are playing together.
Right.
They talked about it earlier that Minnesota has a defense that have played together for quite some time.
Yeah.
They have a few new pieces here and there, but the overall, like secondary, they've been together for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So communication, pre-snap disguises and where people are going to go. Our group is just like starting to learn, okay, Ramsey's learning how Slay operates in this kind of decision and how PQ works with Ramsey and things like that. That's all new. This is a new group. How's everyone communicating? So I think that they are finally starting to work together and starting to gel. Now, we definitely JPJ, Joey Porter Jr. back. I think that once he's in there, that'll take some of that, maybe some of that playing time off of Slay, and we might be able to keep him healthy by your game.
Yeah. Yeah. But we were talking defense, man. And I asked a question, who else was out? How could we forget Alex Highsmith?
Oh my God. Yeah, Alex Highsmith. Because Herbig's been balling.
Yeah, that shows the depth at outside linebacker. I knew there had to be somebody out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Alex Highsmith, him, they called him the Badger Boys. Right? Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt, and Keanu Benton.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All three.
And he played a hell of a game.
Yes.
Benton. So, but do you believe this defense is back?
Back to what?
Back to meeting expectations as far as what was expected coming into the year. What I mean.
We're second in takeaways. Right?
Second in takeaway. Okay. Which the Steelers primarily top 3 takeaway last 2.
But that's the point.
Yeah.
Are we back? Right. I think we're back to.
So yes or no?
I think we're back to making those plays. So yes.
You're saying yes.
There.
I'm saying no.
Okay.
I'm saying no. We had a good game. Okay. I need to see more. Okay. The takeaways. I love the takeaways. Yeah. So you're not going to get them every game. Right. But when I take a look at this stat sheet from Sunday morning, I see 70 yards of rushing for Minnesota. That's what I'm talking about. I sat up here many weeks and said the Steelers can't run. The Steelers can't stop the run. Well, they did both this past Sunday. Okay. So if they, that's one of the first things that I'll be looking at. Are they stopping the run consistently? When they start stopping the run consistently, I'll say they're back. It can't be one game. It can't be two games. I'm waiting for at least three, right? I'm waiting for at least three. And then I'll say they're back. Okay. So yeah, and we want to know from everybody else. I know I started to get some texts in here too, and I have a phone call coming through. So let me see if I could pick up this call.
We are fourth in the league and fourth at the bottom of the list in yards allowed.
Hey, Kirk, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
What's up, Kirk?
Thank you for taking my call. Glad to be listening, watching this
Excellent.
evening, as always.
Thank you.
A great conversation going. I think this early in the year, I'm going to be optimistic. I think our chances of winning the AFC North are going up. You just mentioned you're not impressed yet, and you're not sure if the defense is there. I agree to a certain extent. While we're pointing out what the defense should be doing, and I know it's one of the highest, if not the highest paid defensive unit in the league. We did mention though the takeaways, and I think that's important.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it. We're typically in the top 5, top 3 every year. That's important because that's allowing the offense now to get the ball back when the plan isn't. I mean, you want the ball back, but to force takeaways, that's a luxury. I mean, it really is. They make it look easy, but that's due to coaching during the week. So much credit to the staff for coaching this team and that effort. So.
Definitely.
It goes back on the offense, and the glaring problem that I see right now, and have been even with the wins, it's the pass protection. We know Aaron Rodgers can zip the ball. I mean, that beautiful pass to DK Metcalf for the touchdown across the middle. We know the man can zip the ball. We heard about it coming into camp. People were talking. They weren't just making it up. We see it now 4 games into the regular season. He can throw the ball. If he stays upright, he makes more plays. We kill the clock. And that's the importance here is that while it does rely on the defense, they're forcing the turnovers, giving the ball back to the offense. If we're not going to come away with 7, we got to get that 3. But more importantly, we got to eat the clock. Time of possession, that's how you control the game.
And let me stop you right there because you mentioned it a couple times. Time of possession. And I was going to mention that from a defensive standpoint. That's another reason I don't believe the defense is back. Because every game so far this year, we've lost the time of possession, if I'm not mistaken. I'm taking a look at the last game.
I think you're right.
Yeah, Minnesota, 33 minutes and 34 seconds. Steelers, 26 minutes, 26 seconds. So that needs to be improved.
Yeah, and I'll end on this. I think with the rumored speculation of Lamar Jackson possibly being out for up to 4 weeks, and we know Burrow isn't coming back anytime soon. And I would just, I would say that the Bengals season is officially over. They're not winning the AFC North. It comes down to, can Mike Tomlin coach this team to 11, 12 wins if it's need be? Because once Jackson gets back, of course, the Ravens are going to be the Ravens. But this is an opportunity after the bye week to head in here against 2 division teams, Cleveland and Cincinnati. This is big. We have to win these next 2. These are must-win games. I know it's early, but 5-1 with 2 injuries at 2 of the best quarterbacks in the AFC, Burrow and Jackson.
Right.
This is the time to capitalize.
Now let me last thing before you leave. I just want you to answer or get your opinion on this. What if Cincinnati swings a deal with the New York Football Giants for Russell Wilson? That change your mind?
I mean, obviously it's better than is it Browning? I'm not even sure who the quarterback
Jake Browning.
is. Yeah. So, I mean, Russell Wilson is, I would imagine, maybe a future Hall of Famer. But you know what? I've watched some of those Giants games, and I'm glad the Steelers let the guy walk because that's not the same guy. He can't throw across the middle. There's a lot of issues with him.
Yeah.
I don't think the Bengals make a huge difference. Maybe a 7-8 win team with Russell, maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with
I
that
agree.
too.
I think the Steelers defense would eat Russell Wilson alive.
Yeah.
Alive.
I agree.
But
Yeah.
thanks for the call, Kurt.
He may get
Thanks
one
for
or
taking
two
me.
deep ones.
All right.
Kurt, yeah, thanks for calling. We appreciate it as always. But I think Russ may get one or two deep ones on us, but overall, I think he hangs onto the ball way too. We would.
Yeah, he
EJ
definitely
would
needs to
a-
have the right fit.
Yeah.
And I liked him while he was here.
Sure.
But in
but-
retrospect, I like where we are.
And just really quick, yes or no?
Yep.
Is he playing himself out of the Hall?
I don't think so.
No.
No. I think he's playing himself into retirement.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I really do. Now, I do have a number of texts that came in. Let me see. How many running backs does the Steelers have, and how good are they? I know that the Steelers picked up one running back, Sermon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was on
a couple weeks ago.
He was on our practice squad. So we elevated him. He took a bunch of snaps in preseason. He was originally from Ohio State, drafted by the 49ers. He was playing some special teams for us, took some kick return. Yeah, I think he's he's not going to be someone that's going to come in and light things up. Running back for us, more pass protecting, better hands. Caleb Johnson.
That's where I was going. How did you think Caleb Johnson played?
Yeah, and I don't even care what we talked about Sunday after the game.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out.
6 carries, 22 yards.
Shout out to my boy, Smoking Jim.
Okay.
I thought he played good. You could see vision when they're playing. What the scheme is used to is an inside zone, right? Zone run game, inside zone run game. So you could comfortable in that. He has a vision for that. That's what he played at Iowa, right? So he knows where to go. He has the ball, and that's what I meant by on Sunday. I mentioned that the game's moving fast for him, right?
Yeah.
He's learning a new system.
There you go.
But runs that he had, that 9-yard run, inside zone run.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. I thought he played a decent game.
He's someone that it's going to need touches.
Yeah, and to answer the question, the Steelers have been carrying, if I'm not mistaken, 3 running backs.
Yeah.
3 running backs. Okay. The other text that I have here, let me see. Do we have a big hole when it comes to our wide receivers? I do believe we have a big hole right now as a result of Calvin Austin III being injured. I understand that he might miss a number of plays. I think with games. Yeah, I wish it were plays. I'm not sure what's going on with me today.
Yeah, it's all right.
But yeah, number of games, and the bye week seems to be helpful here as well.
Yeah, very, very helpful.
And then that Thursday night game against Cincinnati, having 10 days off after the game, I think could be beneficial as well. I think having Aaron Rodgers made the receivers a lot better. That was, I didn't think it was a big hole when Calvin Austin III was there. However, I always said we need a bona fide number 2 wide receiver. Calvin Austin is more like a 3. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. And I would typically, and if I was to line up and had my own team, I would put Calvin Austin in that kind of slot mentality, right? He said, but with him going down and them just refusing to play Roman Wilson, right? I thought Roman Wilson had a pretty decent preseason.
I thought that was telling that Scotty Miller got the nod when Calvin Austin III went down.
And mind you, Scotty Miller did have a good preseason as well. He showed out a few games, but I thought, I thought for sure they'd give Roman a shot, but or even at kickoffs or something like that. But they're just not doing it. The trust just isn't there yet, and so I do think we have a bit of a hole there. I'm not sure how they're gonna seeking the agents out there, or if they can move somebody or get someone on the cheap.
Well, like I said, Ken, during our Black and Gold post-game show, and again, if you all haven't checked that out, after every Steelers day game, we have a 3-hour post-game show, Black and Gold post-game show. So, you get our immediate reaction, we get your immediate reaction and everything as well. But you mentioned, lost my train of thought when I went to the Black and Gold post-game show. You were talking about, again, because I had a comment.
Roman Wilson, yeah.
So Scotty Miller, I think that was very telling, but yeah, I know where I was going now. Omar Khan. I mentioned during the post-game show that Omar Khan seems to move when nobody else is moving.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And it's a bye week for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So everybody, keep your eyes and ears open because you might get news, this week that the Steelers made a move to bring in a bona fide number 2 wide receiver. And as I say that, one of the names that were mentioned was from Miami that got hurt last night.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. And I hated to see that.
Yeah.
Horrible injury.
He's going to be done for the season.
ACL and dislocated knee is what I thought I saw.
But just a really quick stat for you. This is to show that, Aaron Rodgers playing right now, right? So Aaron Rodgers recorded an average time to throw 0.17 seconds. His quickest average time to throw in a game, 2006.
Wow.
On his quick throws that are under 2.5 seconds, he completed 16 pass attempts for 174.
Yeah.
That's from Steelers.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah.
And it's all about complimentary football.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Because Aaron Rodgers threw for 200 yards this past week. Okay. But the Steelers ran for 131.
Mm-hmm. And you nailed it right
there.
But our run game is good. Our run game, when our run game is good, our passing game, it's much easier up a passing game if we're running it.
And for, I guess, the first 2 or 3 weeks, Aaron Rodgers was leading the NFL in touchdown passes. Now dropped down to third, tied for third, 8 TDs, 3 interceptions. Okay. Yards, he's at 786 yards. But bottom line is he's effective with what he's doing.
Oh, you said, how many total yards did you say?
786.
Okay. So I had 798. I'm not sure. There might be something missing there.
Which is that's 20th. Okay. Let me see.
But here's the cool stat I wanted to say here.
Too for 20th.
71.8% of those yards come after the catch.
Yeah.
Like people like DK, people like Austin, Calvin, we got wheels on our team.
Yeah.
Like we got players.
Jaylen Warren.
Yeah. How can I forget?
Yeah.
And get them the ball.
How many yards after the catch did our guy Darnell Washington have? The big guy. They call him Shaq now.
Shaq.
Yeah.
Just get DK the ball. Look what he did. Just get him the ball, right? And find ways to get these players the ball and let them make things happen. I think that's what we have to start being comfortable with. And not only does it, get DK the ball, he has a second level he can go to and break a 50, 60, 70, 80-yard play open, but it helps our pass game. Our O-line.
Play action?
Yeah. It helps our O-line. It helps take a little bit of pressure off of them. Play action game is there, and our run game starts opening up as well because they got to start playing off a little bit, right? So it, like you said, that complementary football starts coming together when we stay on schedule, start making these throws, and we'll get behind.
All right, so let's go ahead and switch gears real quick. It is baseball season, everyone, and let me pause this particular video.
I had a good stat for you.
I'm going to bring up.
To say.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Slide it in.
Just to wrap up the Steelers talk here.
Yeah.
Steelers have started regular season 3-1 or better 7 times under Tomlin.
Okay.
All 7 times we made.
Okay. Let me give you a better one.
Oh, you can't say
Let me give
better.
you a better
That's
one. Yeah,
awesome.
this is better.
All right.
The Steelers haven't played a divisional game yet, but a lot of national pundits, as a result of what has gone on in the AFC North, Lamar Jackson, we'll see how many games he missed. Joe Burrow out for the year. Cleveland is Cleveland.
Yeah,
I
was going to say the same thing. Yeah.
Cleveland is Cleveland.
Browns are Browns.
So the probability of the Steelers, and this is hard to do, I wouldn't bet on it because it's been since 2008, okay, that the Steelers swept the division, okay? But this is as good of a chance since then to sweep the division. And what happened in 2008?
Pretty sure we ring from it.
Super Bowl.
Maybe some,
there you
hardware
go.
from it.
So
right?
everybody, watch out for that. The signs. If the Steelers sweep the AFC North, the last time it was done, the Steelers won the Super Bowl. So what you got there, Ken? You came prepared today, man.
Oh, I did, baby.
You came prepared today. I love it. And it's sad that I have to get depressed now because we need to talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates, right?
Yeah,
we need to talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates.
You get to. I got to go.
Yeah, but hey, let's see if I could go ahead and cue this up. This is the Pittsburgh Pirates president, Travis Williams, talking about the state of the team. I believe I got 2 that I need to play, the state of the team and then state of Pirates general manager, Ben Sheraton. Let me see which one this is. I think it's the state of the team. Here we go.
To assess this year as the Pirates franchise as a whole, on and off the field?
It was a very frustrating year in 2025, both on and off the field. That's not only the sentiment of Bob Nutting, but also myself and everybody else in the organization. We know we need to be better, and we will be better in 26.
What gives you the faith that Ben is the right general manager to make this team better in 26?
Our belief and expectation is that this team is a lot closer than our performance and our records would suggest. Our goal is to win in 26 and make the playoffs. Period, full stop. And we know that, with that in mind, we know that we need to build on the momentum that we've already built, that we already have, and moving forward. We have the best young pitching staff in all of baseball. We've got a great core of young position players. In addition to that, we have one of the best farm systems in baseball and the top prospect in baseball. And at the same time, we know that we need to be better. We need to do things differently this offseason. We need to make sure that we're making the changes within baseball operations to be able to provide our players with the support that they need in order to be able to perform at an optimal level. And we also know at the same time that we need to be able to acquire or build on our offense. And we're going to do that through trades or through through acquisitions, trades or free agency acquisitions. And we need to be willing to do that aggressively and decisively through this offseason.
When you say that you believe you're not far away, could you understand how some people would be skeptical to hear that? Because the record is worse this year. And yeah, there are some players that are close, but a lot of the high-ranked prospects aren't that close. What do you say to people who might, disagree with your assessment?
I think you have to look at what we have in terms of talent. Again, building off of one of the best young pitching staffs in all of baseball. But we knew we fell short offensively. We had an historically bad offensive year, but those are things that can be course corrected, and we believe that we have the ability to do that this offseason. We've given ourselves the flexibility at the trade deadline.
All right, so there you go. Pirates president Travis Williams talked about the state of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And can you believe it, Ken? Making the playoffs in 2026.
You think so?
No.
Neither do I.
No,
Not one bit. The biggest cop out there was just saying we'll be better next year. That tells me nothing.
Right.
No plan.
Well, he did say that they need to improve offensively.
Sure.
Which anyone knows that.
Right. But
anyone knows
what
that.
have you if he would have said, hey, we tried. We took a shot this year with these players and it didn't work.
And did you notice he danced around the money part? I believe the money part played, that he basically said he's not putting a number to it. They have the resources. We know you got the resources, Travis.
Yeah, we know that.
Use the resources. And I'm kind of upset that I didn't get the email from the Pirates as well to be part of that press conference. Ken, I need to reach out to the Pirates. I'm not sure what they're doing. They don't want to hear my questions. Okay.
They probably kept that real small.
Real small.
They didn't want people trying to.
I'll be there next time, Ken, because I'm sending an email and I'm letting the Pirates know. Hey, I need to be included in these special media sessions because I have questions. Okay, Travis, stop talking and show us. What's the state where they say show me?
Missouri. Show me state.
Yeah, we need to see. Okay, instead of hearing. Show us. So I said in the past, Ken, very important this offseason. This offseason is going to say a whole lot. Pirates did little or nothing. The one move that they did do that panned out, first base, Horwitz. If I pronounce his name correctly.
Spencer Horwitz.
Okay. Yeah. That was a good move. But it was kind of like, we're not 100% sure, but if things work out, it'll work out. And it worked out.
And it just happened to work out.
That's the only move the Pirates made last offseason. Okay, so this offseason, they need to make a whole lot of moves better offensively. Not Paul Skeens, the best pitcher in baseball, will be asking for a trade.
And I wouldn't blame him one bit.
I wouldn't blame him one bit at all. All right.
And Will, here's a question, though. If that happens, and that's a very hypothetical situation, but if that would happen, Steelers don't build around Paul Skeens.
Pirates?
What I say,
you're
Penguins?
doing me now. You said Steelers.
Pirates. If they don't build around Paul Skeens.
Yeah, but you know what? Catching each other.
Yeah, we are.
That's
Cool. It's good. It's good. Yeah.
We got each other's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they don't do it, and he asks for it. You think they'll learn their lesson? I don't think so.
Because Bob Nutting, the owner, stubborn. Depressing. And I might have this wrong, but it is not too far away. Okay, I heard a stat today about the Pittsburgh Pirates because the playoffs are going on right now. Do you realize 29 out of the last 33 years, Pirates have not made the playoffs? 29.
29
out of 32, maybe. Yeah, I think that's what it was. 29 out of 30 last 32 years. Have made the playoffs. Crazy.
That is
easy. Unbelievable.
Wow.
So that's all I can say. So everybody, we need to watch what goes on during the off season. I don't care what they say over there at PNC Park on the north side. I'm watching what they do. So we'll see. All right. So we need to wrap up. We're 5 minutes over our second segment. So we're going into our third segment, and we need to get our Super Bowl champ on the line, Mr. Darnell Dinkins. We have a lot to talk to Darnell about. Penn State, James Franklin can't win big games. So we need to talk about that. The AP top 25 in college football. We need to talk about Pitt-Narduzzi or Eli Holstein, the quarterback. What's the problem over there at Pitt? We need to talk Major League Baseball playoffs and give you our predictions. We need to talk Penguins. We need to talk Marc-André Fleury for the Penguins and the golf Ryder Cup. So, and we have a hard stop at 8:00 too. So some of these we need to push to the fourth segment, and we'll probably end up doing that, but we'll get it all in, and we'll do all of that and more when we return.
Pittsburgh, it's an old school party. Yes, each Saturday we throw it back with some of the best old school music, funk, R&B, old school, rap, hip hop, and all the jams that make you move and dance. Yes, check it out. Each Saturday, right here on Pittsburgh's DSEN. All the old school jams, 6 to 11 p.m.
Pittsburgh, have you seen our Sunday radio schedule? Ooh, it is lit. Start the day off with our Sunday gospel music from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. It will inspire you and have you praising the Lord. Then from 3 to 8 p.m., we bring you Sunday jazz melody for all the jazz lovers. Then cap off the night with The Quiet Storm from 8 to 11 p.m. to hear the best smooth, romantic, and soulful R&B sounds of yesterday and today. All that each Sunday on Pittsburgh's DSEN, the place for soul.
Pittsburgh, it's an old school party. Yes, each Saturday we throw it back with some of the best old school music, funk, R&B, old school, rap, hip hop, and all the jams that make you move and dance. Yes, check it out. Each Saturday right here on Pittsburgh's DSEN. All the old school jams, 6 to 11 p.m.
Pittsburgh, have you seen our Sunday radio schedule? Ooh, it is lit. Start the day off with our Sunday gospel music from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. It will inspire you and have you praising the Lord. Then from 3 to 8 p.m., we bring you Sunday jazz melody for all the jazz lovers. Then cap off the night with The Quiet Storm from 8 to 11 p.m. to hear the best smooth, romantic, and soulful R&B sounds of yesterday and today. All that each Sunday on Pittsburgh's DSEN, the place for soul.
A big noise playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, you big disgrace, kicking your can all over the place, singing, we will rock you.
All right, we are back. This is Soul Tape on Pittsburgh's DSEN. My name is Kevin Cameron. Across the table from me and to the right is Mr. Ken Craig. We are talking Pittsburgh sports, and we are having a ball doing it, and it's great to do it after a Pittsburgh Steelers victory. Our Pittsburgh Steelers will have a bye this week, okay? A bye, a much needed bye. Now, we're attempting to get Super Bowl champ Darnell Dinkins on the line as well. I'll have to shoot him over a text also and to make sure he didn't forget about us here. Let me see. This might be him calling back. Okay. I actually tried to call him back by mistake. So hopefully we'll be able to get him. And like I said, I'll shoot him over a text, see if he'll be joining us. You know what? Let's go into some hockey, Ken. Big weekend for our Pittsburgh Penguins. Marc-André Fleury.
Yeah, Marc-André Fleury. So first, if you're not familiar with who Marc-André Fleury is, he was originally drafted first overall by the Pittsburgh Penguins in 2003. So he played. Let's table that.
This is Darnell, I bet. So let me make sure I could get him on the right way. And All right, Darnell, you're live. Or can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm there. How's it going, guys?
Okay, we are doing well. We are doing well, everyone. So on the phone with us now, our Super Bowl champ, Mr. Darnell Dinkins, big-time Pitt alum. He has 2 sons that play for Penn State. And what else, Darnell? Where'd you go to high school again? Where did you go to high school?
Great, Finley High.
A couple blocks away from us here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're in the Hill District. So I said a couple blocks to the right. I think you're up the street, right?
Up the street and over the hill, down on Center Avenue. Now due to asbestos, they turned it into apartments, but there definitely is some legends that come out of Finley High School, and I think it was a staple.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, Darnell, initially I was thinking Fifth Avenue. Fifth Avenue is to the right of us, but Shenley is up Center Avenue. Okay.
Right.
So
Fifth Avenue in uptown, and then Finley's more like in the Oakland Hill District area.
Yeah, yeah. Did you ever get confused going to Pitt and go to Shenley?
Some days I wish I did.
They're so close. They're so close, man. Yeah. Okay, great.
That was one of the biggest staples in going there. Was so close. I thought I could really, create things and get some of the local recruits, come there, and we ended up winning. Eventually, after Pitt had gone through some 3 and 9 seasons, 2 and 10 seasons, so. Was good and helpful game. I like it.
Okay, great. So since we were mentioning Shenley and Pitt, give me the top 3 athletes that left Shenley and went to Pitt.
Left Shenley and went to Pitt?
Yeah.
I think myself.
Okay.
Tim Clancy went to Fifth Avenue. He didn't play at. I don't think he. And then,
where did Curtis Morton go?
Oh, you know what? Sam Clancy and DeJuan Blair.
DeJuan Blair. That's the one I was looking for. That's pretty good group, man.
Yeah.
It's not Aliquippa, but that's pretty good.
Thank you for leading me into that very nice.
Hey, but that's. Those are some athletes, including yourself, and now you have your sons out there playing, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But Kim was just talking about this great weekend that the Penguins had with Marc-André Fleury playing his last game, coming back. How long has it been, Ken, since he left the Penguins?
2017 is when the expansion draft came along, and Marc-André Fleury was chosen by the Las Vegas Golden Knights to join
2017.
Yeah.
2017, yep. And you know what? Fleury is not, you would think he is such a big man. He is not a big man. Like, I seen him in Starbucks one day. I was surprised that he was as small as he is. He's more like an NFL kicker.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I usually see him with skates on, so that adds a few inches, but he's not like a big dude, very slender. You got to be to move around the way he does, right? He could do splits, backflip, like all this stuff on the ice. You're like, man, you are nimble. And
I think that's the biggest misconception that people have about goalies. You would think goalies are a lot like a catcher in baseball,
right?
But they're more like agile and limber. They're more like ice.
They have to be.
Right.
Even after the game, he said, because the fans were chanting 1 more year, right? Like asking him to stay for 1 more year. And his comment was, man, my hips hurt, my back hurts. Like, I can't do that.
Hey, he looked pretty good, though. But hold tight for a minute. I have this video from the game. Kim was actually in attendance at the game on Saturday, right? Was that Saturday?
Yes,
or
it
Sunday?
was. That was Saturday.
Against the Columbus Blue Jackets. All right.
Yep.
And Marc-André Fleury came onto the ice in the third period, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this video and audio for everyone.
He was on the ice before that, doing warm-ups and everything, but he came into net the third period.
All right, here we go. So for the people on the radio stream, all the Penguins are coming onto the ice during the third period, skating around during their warm-ups and everything. What are they doing?
This is the end of the second intermission.
Okay.
So they're all coming onto the ice to do just their basic warm-ups. After every period, they go into the locker room for about 10 minutes. So they can clean the ice and everything.
And he looks pretty good there on the ice there, Ken, stretching. I'm not sure what he's doing.
Oh yeah, stretching, just getting ready to tend to the net.
He looks very flexible. And didn't you tell me also, Ken, that he asked for a shootout?
Did. So he came in the third period, did not let up a goal.
Yeah.
He said his number one worry was he didn't want to let the guys down by giving up 5 or 6 goals or anything like that.
Okay.
Because mind you, he hasn't been skating.
Yeah.
Did not let up a goal, but afterwards he said, we have a shootout.
Nice.
Right? And it's, obviously it was probably predetermined. And, but the Columbus Blue Jackets, being great sports, they stayed. So they did a shootout with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Marc-André Fleury did not let up any goals throughout the entire period.
What are they saying here?
Here, one more year. One more year.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, but he didn't let up any goals until the very last breakaway.
Oh, wow.
He let up one goal, which, throw that one away. Doesn't matter.
Let me cut this off now because it wants to repeat. It was so great. And, it kind of brings tears to my eyes from a standpoint of what a way to go out.
Yeah.
And come back. And it makes me, I'm a baseball guy at heart. And that was my best sport, baseball. And what I miss about baseball, and I'm not sure if you remember this, Ken, or you remember this, Darnell. Darnell, did you play baseball?
A great baseball player. I played in what I really wanted to do. I collected the baseball cards and thought I was going to be either a baseball player or a hockey player.
Cool. So what I'm getting to is I miss the days, man, when they used to have Old Timers Day.
Yeah.
Oh, you two remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Old Timers Day. So you get the former Pittsburgh Pirates, you get the former Cincinnati Reds, and you play a game before the game, right? Or after the game. I can't remember which one it was. I want to say it was before the game. You get to come in and, you see the old timers and they have a good time. And it's a lot of stuff about baseball they just don't do anymore. I used to love the scheduled double headers. Yeah, don't get me started. Don't get me started.
But the coolest part about it was fans showed.
They did.
Right?
They did. I saw that.
And it was. I've had the experience of going to multiple Penguins playoff games. Primarily, it was back whenever we had the Mellon Arena or the Civic Arena, and but this crowd was at that level, right? It was actually something that you stand back and you say, this brought everyone together, and the crowd was electric, and there for one reason, and it was all about that, right?
Mhm.
Nothing else got in the way. Just that few hours we were there, it was all about saying thank you to Marc-André Fleury, who was a big part of the Pittsburgh Penguins rebuild. He took us to 3 Stanley Cups, winning 3 Stanley Cups. And he's just finished second all time in wins with 575. Will maybe going into NHL Hall of Fame. Has played for 4 teams. Pittsburgh Penguins was with us for 13 years. Then went over to the Golden Knights. Played 1 year with the Chicago Blackhawks, and then 4 years with Minnesota Wild.
So good move by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Very good move.
Yeah, he did say that Kyle Dubas, the current president and GM, said that it was his idea. He approached Marc-André Fleury about it, and at first it was kind of like, I don't know. And Marc-André Fleury actually said that he felt bad because he did like the farewell a year, had so many goodbyes, and he didn't want to do it like overdo it. And I thought it would be really cool because what they did was they brought him in for practice, so he got to go through the whole game day with his original squad, which was Marc-André Fleury, Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin.
Aller, sideline. Oh, it's picked! Aller, sideline. Oh, it's picked!
I'm going to hold that right there. I was trying to choose something up here. And regarding this big game that happened at Happy Valley. But if I can pause it here and I'll get it ready.
But just one more comment. I know Marc-André Fleury's listening right now, and
there you go.
Yeah, and from everyone here at Pittsburgh's DSEN, thank you for everything you brought to the city, and thank you for coming back for one more PTO. And good luck with the rest of your career.
Excellent. All right, so we'll talk about the big game that happened in Happy Valley. And Darnell, I know you were there, right, for the big whiteout.
It was a great game.
Yeah,
it was a great game.
All right, so we'll watch this highlight and listen to it, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Here we go.
Take it to Pena. Aller, sideline. Oh, it's picked! Dylan Thieneman calls game. That's a walk-off whiteout winner.
So there you go. That was the big play that ended the game, a walk-off interception by Drew Aller. I believe that game went into double overtime, if I'm not mistaken. Penn State was the number 3 team in the country, went down to number 6 Oregon. And I do say Oregon, and I like to let people know that. Okay, 30-24. Penn State goes down, and I believe Penn State now moves to number 7 in the new AP top 25, if I'm not mistaken. So can you recap that game for us, Darnell?
Well, I think the game came down to one. It was unfortunate they ended up losing because right going into tying the game up and then going into the lead and over. My son Khalil had 2 very impressive lead blocks that freed up the 2 touchdowns they had. So it was really good to see the overall team. They fought hard. They did the things they needed to. But once again, in these big games, they didn't do enough. And Oregon, once again, like they did in the Big Ten Championship that we went to in Indianapolis, when it came down to it, it was a late interception. Notre Dame, there's a late interception. In this game, there's a late interception. And these are the games where you really define who you are in the crunch. And I think this is where you start looking at guys who separate themselves in the fourth quarter. You have to look at their numbers when the game's on the line in the big games. You can't always look at so much of a Franklin, but you got to look at the guys who are running, throwing, playing defense, and really saying, hey, when we need that big-time player to come up and make a play, we need to throw a pass. It was a very good pass. So they went for a wheel route on the sideline. And when you just missed it, it was a very good play by Oregon. Still, the game put them in a double overtime. It was a very exciting game. It gave you everything the way that game should. But unfortunately, Penn State came away with the loss.
Now, on that note, you mentioned, and Ken talked about it when we did the preview of the game. I'm not sure if you still have that stat, Ken.
4-21.
4-20, James Franklin.
Yep, again, 4-21 against top 10 ranked teams, and 1-18 against top 10 Big Ten teams. So
top 10 Big Ten.
But here's the kicker. twofold. This year and last year, you can still make it to the championship. But before, when you only did it off of the rankings and the top two teams played in the championship. Now with the point system, it still doesn't give you that like kind of background. It has to win every game to make it. But you can still win back and forth. But you start looking at Big Ten, the Indiana, the Oregon, the expansion of these conferences. The Big Ten and the SEC totally dominates in those leagues. And so when you are playing the top 10, the top talent in the country, you're going to be to lose them. But they on the way to start beating Ohio State, the Michigan, the Oregon, the Indiana. The games that matter most. They beat up the teams they're supposed to beat up. But when it comes to the top teams, they really do struggle with consistency and disbursement of the ball to make sure that they get the wins.
1 in 23 against top 5.
Now,
it's a lot.
With that, Darnell, let's keep it real, man. This is soul tape, man. We need to keep it real, right? You played at every level in football, every level.
Right.
Okay. How demoralizing is it to play for a coach that can't win the big games? And what kind of confidence would you have playing for that coach?
Right. Good question, right? I think in this case, we'll have to start looking at what are teams.
And hold on 1 minute, Darnell, because we're getting a whole lot of racket.
Can you hear me now?
Your end. Yeah, we could hear you now. Yeah.
You got to start asking the question: what are teams diagnosing with you? How are they viewing your plays? What are they looking at you doing in your first down, second down, third down plays? Because it seems like the teams that they really struggle with almost have the playbook to what they're going to do. So they have to find a way to go into these games and really, execute a different game plan, put some different things in motion, because just the last Ohio State games and Michigan games and all these games are just those here, like since they will beat, every team they're supposed to play. But you go to Notre Dame, and they have some key players in that game last year and they lose. You go to Ohio State, you go to Michigan. It's the same rhetoric each and every time. So as a player, you want to start believing that your coach will get it done. But as players, you also want to put the onus on yourself, saying, we have to do something to get over this hump. Because even though the same coach, they did it with Saquon Barkley was there, and you look at his success to moving forward, and they have to find a way to put the ball in the playmakers' hands to make sure they, start executing a little bit better when these big time games come on. And I've watched every single game they've had, and that one in 23. I've been, when we've seen the Sandusky area come on, and we had the Penn State, Graham was going to fold Franklin and Saquon. They got it back, but they have to start doing a better job in these big games with being able to be a little more dominant, so they can change this record. But that 1 in 23, the numbers speak.
But the bottom line is it affects you as a player, right? I mean, you have to start losing confidence or question your coach internally.
I would say that I think the morale of Penn State is probably one of the closest things you can get to SEC type football again. Like when you go to the stadium, when you go to so many people, there's such an environment. I think that the players truly love the environment. I think that they love the coaching staff. I think they love the situation. I think at some point that it's a battle of wills, the battle of coaches is diagnosing each other's plays. And I think these guys really do. I think that Penn State players, you look at how many they have in the NFL, they're a defensive heavy team. They really haven't been explosive offensively. And I think that's really what you see. I think overall, the better offensive team wins these games. The ones who can hit the ball better, run better.
Yeah.
And Penn State,
okay. So what?
Defensive thing.
So what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you a pass, Darnell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out because your sons played for Penn State. But if it were me, I'm gonna start questioning my coach internally. Of course, I'm not gonna outwardly say it, but my confidence level will start to decrease. Now, I will give it my all, but just naturally, Ken, I would start to question my coach. Can you put together a game plan that is lasting, right? You might have a good game plan in the first half, but, you know, it's all about adjustments throughout the game. Will you be able to adjust that game plan? And maybe that's what the problem is. Okay. He's not able to adjust the game plan, even though Drew Aller threw the pick,
Yeah, through the
right?
interception, right.
But
I would say this. I'm broken it down to those, like, we think about a football spinning. When you're a right-handed quarterback, you spin that ball, it literally rotates, left or right, and then it starts to veer off to the right. Same way when a right-handed quarterback's going to his left, kind of goes towards the center when it's going left and right. Right? So when I look at all interceptions, it was an in route against Notre Dame, an in route against Oregon last year in championship. Wheel route to his right this year. Interception in Ohio State last year. When you start looking, every time he throws the ball to the right-hand side, he has been picked off in those areas. So I think sometimes I would really start breaking down, how can I save him? I would throw more tight end screens. I would throw more running back screens. You look at their game plan, they do not do a lot of screens to protect him in some of these passes. And you look at 2-minute offenses, most Tom Brady's, they're throwing 3 to 5 to 7-yard passes and allowing a yak yards afterwards to ignite, because most people are going to be in a coverage or prevent defense. I think those are the type of things you got to start doing in these key situations to protect your quarterback with throw.
And then that's on coaching. Okay, coaching is about putting your players in the right position to succeed. Now, what was your opinion? I heard, Darnell, that maybe James Franklin should have went for 2 instead of kicking the extra point? Yeah.
Well,
at some point during the game.
Touchdown, right? You go, you flip the coin, Oregon wins. They now can, we come out, we score a touchdown, we're up. So if you go on and you go for things, now, yeah, you can either get that or you lose it. So I don't think that's really, I don't think going for 2, statistically speaking, you got a 50% chance. Which at that point in a game like that, give yourself the best opportunity going against a high-power offense, 7 points on the board, and don't make it easy for them. They go and score a touchdown. Now they only got to kick a field goal if you don't get the points, right?
So what was score at that time? Was it 23-23 at that? No, it had to be
24-17.
24-17, and Penn State scores, right?
Uh-huh.
And they kick the extra point instead of going for 2.
Right.
And do you remember how much time was left?
It was over. Well, when they scored, it was literally a minute. I think it was 2 minutes left when Penn State scored a tie. Penn State was behind. Came down, they had a good drive, so it was right before they went to open. So now.
I have it right here, Darnell. 17-17.
Correct.
And let me see here. They scored. Has to be somewhere. Touchdown pass with 30 seconds left, right?
Correct.
To Devontae Ross for 7 yards for a TD with 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So some people are saying
that tied it up 17-17.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That tied it up 17. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. So you're okay with him kicking the extra point to send it into overtime versus going for the 2?
Right.
Okay. You would think.
I say that because, one, you have momentum and get what's missed about this game truly is that Oregon missed their extra point. Oregon missed the extra point right before They scored a touchdown. They went for it. And they had a 2-point attempt that failed.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
So
they failed their point attempt. So it was 30-24 was the final score.
Right.
So
right.
statistically speaking, if they don't throw an interception, they're in the, and all they got to do is get in the end zone, and they take extra point and win.
And they win.
All right. So we got some running to do here with these topics. So I want to make sure we move on, and we have a number of texts in here too I want to get to. So yeah, I don't blame them. Just to recap what we're talking about, I probably would have kicked the extra point too. Now, if I'm the visiting team, maybe I will go for 2.
I probably just
situation.
I think I just go for it, take it to overtime, get a chance to, either that. I mean, if you have enough confidence in what you're doing right then, but I mean, you can't leave the points out there, right?
Right.
Highly televised games. There's 100,000 plus people in the stands. You got to make sure that you're making the right decision. At that point, the way the game was going, Oregon and Penn State both were kind of stalemating a lot. So the best thing to do is take what the defense is giving you.
Yeah. It's 7:37, so we're going to blow past our last break since we blew past it anyway. I think what could help Penn State, and I'm just going to throw it out here, and then we're going to move on. Maybe some of the decision making needs to switch in the fourth quarter. I don't know.
Honestly, I think too, there's so much pressure on James Franklin to kind of break that, right? And you got to win one.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
like,
this has more pressure for the Indiana game.
Big time.
Let me say this too. Oregon won the Big Ten championship. Ohio State won the national championship. Michigan won the national championship. We're not losing to people who are not beating everybody else.
Right.
So I think that's a big component, and we missed. And I would be remiss to say that this kid, Dante Moore, played amazing. 29 for 39, 248 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was a warrior out there in that field, and he helped Oregon win. Like, he had played a sound football game. There was a battle of quarterback. And once again, when it came down to it, Penn State wins because Drew Howard does not throw any interception. I believe that.
But you don't put him in that position to throw that pass if he has issues on that type of pass. But we'll move on because we got a lot of other topics. I have a text in here before I get to the text. If anyone would like to call, the number should be on your screen or on the device you connected on. Now, the text that I have here, it says, does Darnell's sons feel any pressure? Well, it says here to be Super Bowl champs. How do they handle having a famous dad? I'll say the first thing, they need to work hard to get into the NFL and not worry about the Super Bowl right now.
I would say this to that question. Colin and Khalil have done a great job. Colin came up through COVID. They both played at North Allegheny. Colin was an amazing running back and DB, and Khalil obviously quarterback, receiver, tight end. He did it all kind of at And Colin's last year through COVID, the 6-year senior, really hindered. So him going to Penn State and having to make a name for himself, he's 6'3" now, 205 pounds, running the 4.3. Explosive. Genty, who doesn't go down. You look at his films last year, he ran down on special teams and knocked the crap out of Genty. This kid is playing really physical football in the DB room that puts a lot of guys in the NFL. And Khalil playing tight end. He is better than I was at his age right now as tight end. He made some really good catches and has been making some tremendous. He had like 7 pancake blocks as a tight end in his last game. So the kid is not only physical, he's a load on guys. He will play for a long time to the next level, but I think they both have their own identity. They both got a little bit of me. And I would say that doesn't define them. I think the fact that they've been brothers playing on every single team together, they've created a camaraderie within themselves that is different than I ever had. I just love watching them grow and develop.
So the question is, how do they handle having a famous dad?
They don't. I think they become used to noise. They was at the Super Bowl. They was in the locker room when they won the Super Bowl. Big games don't surprise them because they've seen it their whole life. I think the benefit of having a father is that platform scenario. Like, when you have a dad who's done some things like Shedeur Sanders when he was in the games, you could see that the big games didn't really get to him, as much because you've been around that type of atmosphere. And I think it's the same thing with them. They understand the atmosphere of the games, and they really do. Just going from North Allegheny to Penn State, and then anything they transition to, like North Allegheny, probably a little bit unlike Alice, but has huge crowds every week. You know what I mean? So they've been in games where there's been thousands of people there. So I can truly say that pairing them for sport from the mindset, they do understand the nature of the game from watching me through film, coach, talk about it. So they got a different perspective, and they go in like it's a job. So they really are mature beyond there. They're very mature in football here.
Excellent. And
awesome.
Khalil, the last game, 2 receptions for 23 yards with a long of 16. So we'll continue to watch Penn State. Penn State dropped down to number 7, as I indicated. So the AP top 25. We have Ohio State at number 1. And I'll only go through a few of these. Oregon, number 2. And the reason I'm throwing that out there, they just beat Penn State, so they moved up 4 spots, and they play Indiana, who is also number 8 this week.
They moved up 3 spots as well.
Yeah, and Miami, University of Miami, the U, actually moved down a spot from number 2 to number 3, and they play Florida State University, who's ranked number 18 as well. That's a 7:30 game. On Saturday, Miami just beat Florida 26-7. Penn State they play UCLA on Saturday. That's a 3:30 game. Number 7, Penn State, and number 8, Indiana, who's 5-0, beat Iowa 20-15 this past week. They play Oregon. Is it Oregon? Number 2, yeah, Oregon. I mentioned that game
Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah,
Oregon. I say Oregon.
Here's the fun thing about Indiana, though. First Signetti was my first tight end coach and recruiting coordinator at University of Pittsburgh.
No way.
My first one thing.
Yeah.
Then his father was Signetti, who was coaching at IUP.
Yep.
His brother, Frank Signetti, was a good friend of mine. Then he goes on to Alabama with Nick Saban for a while, enhances his coaching. Elon, James Madison, now Indiana, and his team is really looking tremendous. I mean, they're executing at a very high level. I think they're going to be the team to beat this year in the Big Ten.
Yeah. So Ken and I will be at that Penn State Indiana game, so we'll have to connect with you as well. And then we have number 10 Alabama, that will face number 16 Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt is 5-0 at this point, and Missouri is 5-0. They're number 19 in the country, and they play that I mentioned Alabama, who's number 10, and then we have BYU, and the only reason I'm mentioning BYU, they just beat Colorado, Deion, and Colorado, and they face West Virginia. This is a Friday game at 10:30 p.m. What's going on with Deion, man? It's not like they tore it up when he was there either.
Well, I mean, I think when you get your son out there playing quarterback, and Shedeur obviously is a tremendous talent, and you have the receiver, and Travis Hunter, who's a tremendous talent. I think those guys really carry them. It goes to show how good they were, but overall, Deion Sanders, the coach, he's still he's a guy who started his journey at Jackson, right? And so now he's, into the college, he's doing his thing, but he has to get we look at them time and time again, their line is on offensively and defensively needs to get better if he ever plans on making any type of movement. And
all right. And as I mentioned, where I asked what's wrong with Deion, what is wrong with our alma mater? University of Pittsburgh went down to Louisville. I was at that game. Pitt jumped out to a 17-0 lead. and I saw the most horrific call in my life.
I will say though, if you check the tapes, who called it?
Mm-hmm.
Called it?
Who called it?
Me. I got
Okay.
it. I called it last week.
What did you call?
Louisville winning.
Okay. I don't doubt that whatsoever.
I got to get credit when I got it. Ain't no one else going to give it to me, so I'm going to get it.
I hear you, but that was a momentum altering call or non-call, whichever way. And just to explain to everyone, and I had the video, but I'm not going to play it because we're short on time. But the Pitt player was trying to catch a punt. He got ran into, and the ball ended up hitting him, and he went after it just to make sure he recovered it. The referee threw the flag for running into the punt returner, and the flag got picked up. It was overturned, and they gave the ball to Louisville because it was a muff punt by Pitt. How they picked that flag up, I don't understand. And
did it hit someone before? Like, was it tipped?
I think.
Yeah,
it looked like it was before. It was right before it, and then.
Yeah, but
it was. Right.
You have to give the punt returner room to catch the ball,
unless it's even if it's blocked, like up at the
no,
line.
if it's blocked, everything is off.
Yeah, that's what
everything.
I thought. Okay.
Everything is off if it's blocked. Yeah, but it wasn't blocked.
It wasn't blocked. Okay.
It wasn't
okay.
blocked.
Okay.
And I was part of the post-game interview with Pitt-Narduzzi, the head coach. He was speechless. And one of the things this is the first time I saw this, Darnell. I thought was interesting. The athletic director was in there as well. Yeah.
I think sometimes when somebody calls, like, and I don't know if it's just because of, I always talk about the gambling of sports making some of these calls look a little bit more fishy, a little more edgy than what they should be. It just doesn't really make sense when you got a big game like that. You have all the technology, all of the instant replays, everything. When they don't utilize it in the right way, it just makes you ask the question like, how did they miss that?
Mm-hmm.
How do you miss that? It's such a pivotal, not a pivotal point in the game when you can utilize it to your advantage. And it just didn't help it. But more importantly, to go back, it's the last 2 weeks. I mean, when you really think about it, Pitt really should really be, 4-0. You look at West Virginia come in, they do their thing, against Pitt, but they go and get blown out, last week, 40-14, Utah. So, it's like Pitt found a way to lose that game against Louisville. So it's going to come down to a punt return. You know what I mean? And I think that's the bigger thing. Like they came out strong. They were playing extremely well. We have a quarterback who the whole team was, playing extremely well, but then the interception thing can hurt you, and I think that's really where you look at that game in the first half and it's a tale of two halves. That's what that game was last week. It's a tale of two halves.
Got you. All right. So we'll move on to Major League Baseball. Make sure we get this in. We have the playoffs that started today. I always call October the best month in sports. Tomorrow is October. You have all major sports going on at the same time. Matter of fact, the NBA, they had their media day. 25 teams anyway had their media day yesterday. Those that did not, New York Knicks, Brooklyn Nets, Philadelphia 76ers, New Orleans Pelicans, and the Phoenix Suns. They previously held their media days and began practices due to international travel for preseason games. So the other 25 teams had their media day yesterday, which was Monday. So my point is tomorrow, Wednesday is October, all major sports will be playing at the same time. That's why I call it the best month of the year. Now, from a baseball standpoint, the playoff game started today. I believe Detroit, who was 15 and a half games up on Cleveland, and Cleveland came back to win that division. But Detroit won today, 1-0, and took the lead over Cleveland. So Cleveland is number 3, ranked, or the 3rd seed. Detroit is the 6th seed. Okay, and they played in the wild card round. Seattle has to bye. They're actually the number 2 seed. This is a good wild card game. Boston Red Sox, the number 5 seed, against the number 4 seed Yankees, and the number 1 seed, the Blue Jays, they have a bye. Over in the National League, we have the number 6 seed Cincinnati, going up against the number 3 seed, the Dodgers, and that game is tonight at 9 p.m. And waiting for the winner is Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Phillies, and then we have the Padres, who lost to the Cubs, I believe. Yeah, they lost to the Cubs today, if I'm not mistaken. That was game 1, and the Milwaukee Brewers is the number 1 seed. They have a bye. Okay. So that's what's going on in Major League Baseball. When I take a look, I'm not sure about you two, but when I'm still going with the Dodgers, fellas. I'm going with the Dodgers to win it all.
Yep, that's who I'm with.
Any opinion on that, Darnell?
No, I mean, I think, like, with me, like, I'm trying to get back. I love baseball so much. I'm trying to get back into it now. It's like, I enjoy just the game of it right now. Like, when I was growing up, there were certain things I enjoyed about it. So, like, baseball kind of lost that with the super huge contracts and meatball. I love the Will Clarks and the Randy Van Slyke and, so, I mean, Mike LaValliers and Jose Leans. Like, I was a baseball fanatic, and Pirates and a little bit of baseball has taken it away. So I'm slowly, regaining the confidence of baseball again.
Hey, I could definitely understand that. And one of the downsides of watching these playoffs as well, so many ex-Pirates normally play in those particular games as well. Okay. Real quick, Ken, what did you think about the Ryder Cup? The U.S. went down to Europe.
I thought it was incredible. Europe came in on fire, and if U.S. would have played like they did on Sunday, they probably would have walked away with a dub. However, Europe was too good this year. They were way too good this year. Good on them. I did not appreciate fans did.
Yeah.
I love a good.
Explain that real quick in 30 seconds, please.
They just, the fans try to get into the European team's head, specifically Rory.
And somebody got fired over that.
Did they?
Yeah.
They were yelling they were yelling obscenities. They were yelling personal things, making personal attacks. I mean, it got really bad, and it's just not a good look for the U.S. right now.
Got you.
So overall, I'm kind of embarrassed about that, and one of those things where you wish people would make better decisions.
Definitely. Moving on to the WNBA. There's one semifinal that is already done. The Phoenix Mercury over the Minnesota Lynx, 3-1. And the last game, I believe, will be played tonight. Ken, if you could get a time for it. We have the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark going up against the Las Vegas Aces, and that series is tied 2-2. So win
9:30
go
p.m.
home is 9:30 p.m. game. All right, so I believe that we covered everything outside of this week's picks, and I'm just looking at my sheet just to make sure that everything that we said we would talk about that we talked about, fellas, and we did. So we have probably about 3 to 4 minutes to get these picks in. Darnell, did you officially join the league, or you just make the weekly picks when you come on?
I make the weekly picks when I come on.
Okay, so I'm not sure how well you're doing, but I'm doing pretty good.
Correct.
I'm actually leading the group right now.
By one.
Is it by one?
By one.
By one. And Ken, we tied last week,
We
right?
sure did.
We tied
sure
last
did.
week. 10. Did we have 10 wins?
Yeah, 10 wins.
So we went 10-6 last week.
Yeah, it wasn't the best week.
Yeah, the previous week,
Yeah.
Darnell, I went
So
12-4.
you ain't changed your picks at halftime, right?
No,
You ain't going to-
you can't
go
do
to
that. They're
halftime, right?
locked. They're
Yeah,
locked.
they locked.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
They make sure. They make sure. So yeah, let's go ahead and get these picks in. Hopefully, we'll be able to get them all in by 8. But if we go a little bit over, hopefully that will be okay. So let me see if I could cue this up. And we'll start with you, Darnell, since you are on the phone.
Okay.
Pittsburgh, it's an old school
That's not what I'm
party.
looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. Air, yeah. And those of you watching and listening, you can do these picks with us as well. This is week 5 NFL picks. And we're going to start with the game on Thursday. Miami traveling up to Buffalo.
I think Buffalo gets 2 wins.
In Buffalo. We're all on Buffalo. Sunday games. You know what? I'm sorry, guys. That was last week.
Yeah, I was
that
going
was
to say.
last week.
I was like, I didn't want to say, I think
Yeah. All right, let's start this thing over. All right, so Thursday matchup is this week Seattle traveling to Arizona.
No.
San Fran and the Rams, right?
Yeah, San Francisco and Los Angeles.
On Thursday? Man,
No, it's all.
oh, man, I'm printing the wrong information.
It's all right. I got it right here.
Okay,
We got you.
go ahead, Ken. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
No, absolutely. We got you. All right, Thursday. It'll be San Francisco at Los Angeles Rams.
See, I might not do well this week since I don't have to.
I'm prepared.
Went against Minneapolis last week. Take the Rams. I'll take Minnesota.
All right, I got Minnesota as well.
Agree.
All right, and then we got Las Vegas Raiders at Indianapolis Colts.
I got to go with the Colts in this one.
Colts are on fire. They look good. And they do as well.
Agree.
All right, big matchup next. New York Giants at New Orleans Saints. Got 1-3 versus 2-4.
Failing of Maxton Dart continues. New York Giants.
All right, I'm going to agree with you on this one. You brought a little bit of a spark, so I'm going to go New York Giants.
All right.
This is going to be a big game as well. Dallas Cowboys going head-to-head against the New York Jets. 0-4 New York Jets and the 1-2-1 Dallas Cowboys.
Well, we always keep expecting the Cowboys to do something, and they just don't. But I think the Jets actually edged one out against them with their first win.
Oh, you're going Jets, Darnell?
Yeah.
He already wrote it down. All right.
Okay.
I feel like the Cowboys would just be able to outscore the Jets on this one.
Wow.
So I'm going to take the Cowboys.
Jets look horrible. I'm going with Dallas. But do you two like ties?
We're not doing ties.
Because it's funny, as I just said, the Cowboys want to outscore it. Like, the Cowboys ain't going to score. They know how to score.
The Cowboys put up
40 points. That's why I asked if you two like ties. Because it was Green Bay 40, Dallas 40. I don't like ties. They need to fix that.
Yeah, that needs to be. I thought Green Bay's defense was a little bit.
Yeah.
Next up, all right, Denver Broncos at Philadelphia Philadelphia Eagles. Denver 2-2, Philadelphia 4-0.
Saquon Barkley is playing out of his mind. Take the Eagles.
I have to go with the Eagles here.
Well, I would go with the Eagles, but someone told me that A.J. Brown might sit out because he's pissed off.
Not getting the ball?
Pissed off.
Okay. They have been
No, I'm kidding. I'm going Philly. All right.
Next up, 1-3 Miami Dolphins against the 1-3 Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, Carolina, I thought they might have a little bit of influence. They proved to me why you couldn't go with Carolina. Miami.
I agree, Darnell.
I gotta agree too. Yeah, this one's just too dirty. Miami.
All right.
Next up, Houston Texans against Baltimore Ravens. 1-3.
Will it be a Lamar Jackson this week, or is he definitely out?
I do not know. And if he is out, we got Huntley up next. He could win.
No, is Huntley with Baltimore? I think he's with Baltimore anymore.
I don't think he's with Baltimore anymore.
Yeah, I think I forget who the quarterback was that came in, and he didn't look too high.
I know they have Cooper Rush.
I'm going with Houston. That's who the backup that is.
Cooper Rush is the backup.
Okay.
I think Baltimore is still looking so inconsistent. I would think that Houston can edge to Baltimore this week.
I think Houston has a couple new toys that got him a win last week. Marks as a running back looked really good. I feel like Baltimore, if Lamar's not there, I don't know what they're going to do. So I'm going to take Houston. All right.
Chubb isn't looking good this year, and he does well against the Ravens pretty much since we came from the Browns to now the Texans. So I think Chubb has a good game.
All right. So Tennessee Titans, the 0-4 Tennessee Titans against the 2-2 Arizona Cardinals at Arizona.
This is where you want to see Arizona do the Arizona thing, so I'm hoping Arizona can edge Tennessee.
Yep, Arizona. I got to take the home team here.
Me too. Cam Ward will continue to be mad.
Yeah. All right. At 4:05, the 3-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers take on the 3-1 Seattle Seahawks. A good matchup.
Well,
really good matchup. I think Seattle overall team plays good. Maybe a little bit like the Mayfield. Seattle.
I'm going Seattle too.
I'm taking the Buccaneers.
You're going Tampa Bay again.
I think they're a good team as well.
All right.
Detroit Lions. 3-1 Detroit Lions against the hot 2-2 Cincinnati Bengals.
Hey, Detroit.
We're
all in Detroit.
All right. Washington Commanders 2-2. Washington Commanders against the 3-1 Los Angeles Chargers.
Is Jaden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels is still questionable right now. Marcus Mariota maybe under center again this week. But as of right now, he's questionable.
And they're playing against the Chargers.
A little bit of an edge to get over the Chargers this week with some turnovers, but I think they Chargers come out strong and beat the Commanders.
Yeah, as of right now, I'm going to go with the Chargers. Jaden Daniels is playing, then I might have to consider that, but I don't think the Chargers put too many losses together.
Yeah, I'm going Chargers.
All right, and then 2-2 New England Patriots under the lights against the 4-0 Buffalo Bills at 8:20 p.m. game on Sunday. New England versus
those games where New England will kind of stop them. But I think right now Buffalo understands. I think that game against Baltimore really built them up. Take Buffalo.
Yeah, one of my good friends is a diehard Buffalo Bills fan. Shout out to Brad. This is for you. I'm taking Buffalo.
I'm going Buffalo as well. Now, there's only, two undefeated teams in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. Buffalo being one of them. And also, let me see who else.
Eagles.
The Eagles. There you go.
Yep, there it is. All right, and to wrap it up, Monday night, Kansas City 2-2 against Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 3-1. Jacksonville has the most takeaways in the NFL.
Where's that game?
In Jacksonville.
They're not ready. Jacksonville is not ready.
I think Kansas City goes up there and just things they move the ball and really just.
I gotta take it.
I'm going KC. Who's the Saints, Darnell?
Kansas City.
Okay, we're all in Kansas City. All right, so here's the deal, fellas. And let me go ahead and stop this music.
We don't have a
We're done. No still
the other game.
Give the vibes real quick. Who are the vibes getters?
Where would I see the ball?
This should be on the bottom of the schedule.
Well, you didn't give me.
We'll find it.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers definitely have a bye.
Whatever you pulled up. Let me see. I could get it here, and I was gonna say something as well. So we're in week 5.
Green Bay doesn't have a game, right? Green Bay don't have a game.
The buys are
Steelers, Green Bay.
At Atlanta, Chicago, Green Bay, Pittsburgh.
There you go.
Okay, those are the buys for week number 5. And everyone, we keep all these stats week by week as well. And we try to tell you how we've done week by week as well. And if you're watching the show, the recording, and you would like to participate, send in your text because we would like to know how you did as well to compare. And if you would like to officially join the league, just let us know. Shoot us a text, and we'll make sure you get the league information and the password to officially join Pittsburgh's DSEN NFL Pick'em. Okay, we do it on ESPN Pick'em.
Yeah, shout out to BL Cameron.
Okay. Bobby Cameron. He had a good week.
Bobby Cameron.
Yeah.
Star wide receiver.
Yeah.
And T-Mac. Top 2.
They tied this past week?
No. Bobby had 12 wins, and T-Mac had 11.
Got you.
And shout out to me and you.
We're timed. All right.
I'll always shoot myself.
Darnell, we'll go ahead and let you go. And as usual, thank you very much for joining the show. And we always appreciate your input. Super Bowl champ.
As always, thanks for having me on. And to all listeners who continue to support and tune in every single week. You know, it's an honor to be with you guys and talk over all the sports that goes on, and more importantly, giving our take on Soul Take.
All right, and we'll see you if we don't talk to you, which I know we will, but if we don't, we'll see you out at the Penn State Indiana game.
That's right.
Sure, we'll talk before then.
All right. Okay, God bless. Take care. All right, so we need to wrap it up because we have another show.
Yep.
It was supposed to start at 8:00. We're going to start it as soon as we can after this show.
Right.
So again, Pittsburgh Soul on Stage from 8 to 9 p.m. So we do hope that everyone could stick around, and we will have Miss Rita Gregory joining me, and we will talk to Dr. Nathaniel Floway Felton of Gospel Melodies Day Party. You could get all the information on the website as well, pghdsen.com. 30 seconds?
Absolutely. The NHL season is here, and so we're going to be talking Penguins. Pittsburgh's DSEN will have a new hockey show.
Yeah.
We are calling it Inside the Igloo.
Excellent.
We have 3 different hosts. Danny Lino, who is a roster, or just a roster person, knows the ins and outs of the Pittsburgh Penguins roster. Scott Crowell, who's a writer and knows the prospect polls in and out. And yours truly, myself, correspondent for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Inside the Igloo show about all things Pittsburgh Penguins. We're going to have a weekly show with guests talking Pittsburgh. So we're not going to be a live show. It's going to be a pre-recorded show. You will see it posted to YouTube. So we'll every Monday we'll have a new show posted.
Excellent. All right, everyone. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. Like I said, Pittsburgh Soul on Stage is next. It'll take us 5 minutes to get that going, and it's only on the radio stream, pghdsen.com. But as far as Soul Take, we'll be back next Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. So hopefully you'll be able to join us for that show as well next Tuesday. But if you could stick around on the radio stream, we will really appreciate it. So everyone, please take care, and we'll see you and talk to you later.